Hi guys, welcome back to another music therapy live stream. I'm Holly Dale and this is my father, and his name is Toby Holly, and he is a licensed mental health counselor.
Delighted to be with you this evening.
And so we are going to be looking at another really cool song today. Let me go ahead and put up the name of it. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at a song by Micah Tyler. Is that how you say his name?
You get it.
And it's called Different. And this song came out in, let's see here, it says September 15th of 2016.
2016, yeah.
Yep. And we're going to go ahead and we'll jump into the song in just a second. But really quick, do you want to go ahead and give us a brief rundown of what we're going to be looking at in this song today and what it's going to kind of help us process through?
Sure. In our last stream, one of the viewers posed the question, what is music therapy? So just briefly, I'll answer that, and then I'll be glad to talk about the song Different. Mm-hmm. So music therapy is a cool sort of version of therapy where you use music to help affect change in people's lives. Mm-hmm. And music is powerful. Why? Because it brings a couple of things to the table. With the instrumentation of music, you actually have like a mood or an environment created, and then naturally the lyrics have a message, and so you can combine the musicality in a song and really help open up maybe a mood that is necessary in order to bring change in your life, some kind of desired change. So music therapy is a really cool kind of new thing in my field. And so, since I do therapy and you do music, we thought we would do this podcast for those in the world to maybe learn a little bit more about both industries.
Yeah. And let's see, I think today we're going to be doing, is this episode 7?
Yeah, this is the 7th one. Yeah. We're just going to keep going.
We're going to keep going, yeah. Okay, so I'll go ahead and jump into it. And how I like to do it, and I like to restate it every time because we typically have new people who tune in. What I do is I go through and I'll play the song for us, and we'll kind of listen to the words and the music that's going on in the song. And afterward, I will go ahead and reread whatever section we just listened to in the music. So that way we get a better view of the lyrics themselves, and we're not kind of like, just lost because we were listening to the music while we were listening, or basically it's just a little refresh before we kind of dive into some thoughts about the song itself.
Fabulous.
So yeah, all right, I will go ahead and play that for us. So let me pull up the song. That's my song. That's not the right one.
That's a nice one.
Oh, okay. So here is Different by Micah Tyler. And we'll look at verse 1.
I don't want to hear anymore.
Hopefully that's loud enough.
Teach me to listen. I don't want to see.
Ooh, I love the piano.
Give me a vision that you could move this heart to be set apart. I don't need to recognize the man in the mirror.
All right, and that was verse 1.
Verse 1.
Yeah, that was verse 1. Okay, I was just rereading it just to make sure. Immediately off the bat, I know that was like super quiet. I'm gonna turn up the volume.
Yeah,
the volume was way low. There we go. Hopefully y'all heard that. Anywho, so the first thing about this song that kind of stood out to me was the music in the background was a little bit different compared to the music that came out, especially in the Christian industry around the year 2016. The music seemed very kind of like grand piano heavy, if that makes sense. There wasn't a lot of synth going on in the background there, which is really cool. I love that. So yeah, immediately that's the first thing that kind of came to my mind.
Okay.
And yeah, I'll go ahead and read the verse for us before we actually dive into some thoughts here. So yeah, here is verse 1. So it reads, I don't want to hear anymore. Teach me to listen. I don't want to see anymore. Give me a vision that you could move this heart to be set apart. I don't need to recognize the man in the mirror. Yeah, those words
deep.
Are pretty deep. I was just going to, say that.
Deep. Before we maybe look into verse 1 in particular, just a quick comment about the whole song. So, as we go through it, it's better understood.
Right.
When we talk about different, we're talking about a whole person transformation. This is meant to be a substantial change in the person themselves. I would say all the way down into your character.
Okay.
You know, it's a very deep change. And one fun way to think about it is, if Jesus were you living your story, how would he do it? Like, maybe if you're like a car salesman, okay, and you sell cars for a living, you know, if Jesus were you, how would he sell cars? Like, what would be his strategy of selling?
I think I'd be convinced.
Yes. and then too, if like you're a step parent, a stepmom, stepdad, and Jesus were raising those step kids, you know, how would Jesus raise those kids, right? So just kind of keep that in mind as we go through the song, and this almost plea for being different.
Yeah, that's
so
good.
That's the thing. Verse 1, line 1, really kind of cool. It talks about hearing versus listening.
Right.
I don't want to just hear, I want to listen. Teach me to listen. And so hearing, the way to understand that is, you know, in one ear and out the other, whereas listening is much more kind of taking it in, drinking in whatever truth that you're hearing and allowing it to be a transformative thing in your life. That's listening is a deeper, more active, engaging way to do it.
Yeah,
so that's kind of fun.
That is good. Yeah, I think literally on the point you were just saying, the thought that kind of came to me while I was listening to this song was immediately kind of in the first verse. I kind of felt a sense of kind of urgency in the song. I think some of the lines that made me think that was the way that he started the song was, I don't want to hear anymore, teach me to listen.
Right.
I don't want to see anymore, give me a vision. Like the negative words, like I don't, and it kind of like draws my attention to that sense of urgency.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to hear anymore. But it's also, the tone for me kind of set this idea of a deep desire for transformation. I think he's kind of expressing here, like, it's enough just going through the motions. I want to really listen and really understand, and let God guide me to become a better version of myself. I think that's basically
a better
what you
version
said.
of yourself. Exactly.
Right. Yes. Yeah. And that was kind of like the thought process that I took from that. But yeah, okay, so that was kind of verse 1. I think that was a pretty good way to start this song today. Let's go ahead and jump into, let me take a look here.
The pre-chorus.
The pre-chorus and the chorus. I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to go ahead and play both, because the pre-chorus, I think here it says, it's just 2 lines. So we'll just go ahead and jump into the chorus right after we listen to it. So here is the pre-chorus and the chorus.
I can't waste a day. I can't stay the same. I wanna be different. I wanna be changed till all of me is gone.
Ooh, I love the background. It's very powerful.
So bright, the whole world can see that there's something different. So come and be different in me.
Wow, I love that. Okay, I don't know about anybody else, kind of like who's listening, but for me, when I heard that chorus just now, that set off a deep set of like nostalgia for me. I remember like hearing that in the car on the way to like high school. I think I was in high school, in 2016. So that I absolutely love the way he did the chorus there. The music in the background just immediately invokes a sense of like passion with his music. I love that. It was really good. So before we jump in, sorry, I'll go ahead and read the chorus for us.
Good.
So the chorus reads, I want to be different, I want to be changed, till all of me is gone and all that remains is a fire so bright the whole world can see that there's something different, so come and be different in me. I love that chorus. That was really well written. That was awesome. The message, like, for me was really clear there.
So we have the pre-chorus and the chorus, which we just went through, and whenever I look at the pre-chorus, which is very short, I kind of envision a person, almost, I hate to say in despair, but just like frustration with themselves. I have to be different. There's something really kind of urgent going on there in the pre-chorus, and the chorus is this maybe mantra, it's like a message, and I think it's repeated 3 times in the song, so it's a pretty long chorus, and the message is persistent throughout the whole thing, and which I really appreciate the messaging of the chorus, which is what really brought us to the song to start with.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely got a sense from the writer of this song that there was like a deep desire for change. Like literally, like in every line, I feel like that was being kind of like pointed across as like the message. And I think also in this chorus, he kind of invites God's like intervention. Kind of like asking for change to happen within his whole person. Help. Right, yeah. It's just, for me, this was like a beautiful expression of like faith and surrender. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I took away from the chorus.
And maybe just a final note before we move into the next little piece. I think, most folks are familiar with the famous chapter in Romans, I think it's chapter 7, that talks about, I do things that I don't want to do. I think he even uses the word hate, but I do them anyway. So there's this kind of deep, like, frustration with maybe something that you keep doing, but you don't want to do it anymore. And so there's this call to God for, I want to be different. Help me be different. That's true. What it kind of comes to my mind when I listen to the chorus.
Yeah, I totally agree. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into, let's see what's next. It is verse 2.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, here's verse 2. Hopefully that's Hold on. I'm sorry. I want to go back just a second. I heard his voice there, and that was really good. The passion in his voice there. Let's see. Let me back it up. I really got like the emotion he was trying to get there. And then it was back to the chorus, so I'll go ahead and pause it there for us. Yeah, the verse 2, I really got a sense of like emotion that's kind of like coming out of his voice there. That seemed like a little bit different compared to verse 1, the pre-chorus and the chorus for me.
He seemed like he put emphasis on certain words like gain.
Yes.
Was really strong.
Yeah, I think for me, what I heard from that is he's really pouring out like his heart for like this deep desire of change. But like even in the word change, I think is where I heard that.
Okay.
Yeah, it was for that word, but that was really good. Let me go ahead and read verse 2 for us, and then we can jump into your part, which is like the analysis.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so here's verse 2. So verse 2 reads, "And I don't want to spend my life stuck in a pattern, and I don't want to gain this world, but lose what matters. And so I'm giving up everything because," and then it jumps back into the chorus. And before we kind of jump into the analysis, there's one last thing. I noticed, I think Toby Mac says the same similar line in a song. I don't know if that you heard that, but it's gain this world, but lose what matters. What was the song for that, for Toby Mac? I don't remember what song that was. Like, I can hear it in my head, but I can't place which song it was.
It's a fun song.
It is a fun song, yeah. I was just trying to think of it.
I think he sung it with Kirk Franklin, if memory serves me right. It's a really, really fun song.
Yeah. Have we, was that the song we literally looked at? Okay, I was going to say.
We'll look at that one next.
Okay, good
We'll do
plan.
that one next.
Good plan.
That's a good idea.
That is a good idea, since we were just looking at this line.
Right.
But yeah. Okay, go ahead.
In this particular verse 2, the line, actually, this is pretty genius. Line 1 talks about being stuck in a pattern. And this is probably what I do pretty much most days. I'm tempted to say almost all day long. What we do in life is whether we know it or not, we create patterns or habits for ourselves, and sometimes those can be really, really destructive. And if you want to be different, you're going to have to change those patterns and create patterns that are actually life-giving and productive, and quite frankly, like Jesus.
Yeah.
And so his statement about not being stuck in a pattern is that's absolutely the bottom line. And so looking at oneself and finding those negative patterns, isolating those, and then retraining yourself out of those patterns, that is how one becomes different.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, especially focusing like on the spiritual growth. Even if it means kind of like saying goodbye to things that the world might consider important. You know, I think that's something, especially in kind of my age group, that should be a message that's really like spread. Because like there's a lot of like ideas with different like cultures and groups and everything. Like what was one, like the hookup culture. Me and my like D group were talking about that the other day. Just like the whole concept of that. And how it can really hurt people, you know, be destructive in your spirit and everything like that. And it's not supposed to be that way, but there is like a sense of something that is important that people are trying to grab through that, if that makes sense. So saying goodbye, that concept, saying goodbye to things that the world might consider important are actually not, you know, fundamental like needs to you, if that makes sense. Yeah,
because they're keeping you from being really who Jesus means for you to be, which is the healthiest version of yourself.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Okay. So that was verse 2. So now we're going to jump right back into the chorus.
Cool.
I'm going to pause it. Oh, I love his voice when it went up there. I think that was different from the first chorus, the first time we heard it.
This song comes to me in conversation, you know, unsolicited from myself, where people mention to me that they have heard this song and that it actually is a song that they use to help motivate them towards being different. And they listen to it and they think about the goals. And I mean, that's just, you know, I love hearing other people's ideas. And there's one gentleman, amazing gentleman, who struggles with being angry. Actually, he's pretty anxious, and the manifestation of his anxiety is anger. And he listens to this song with the distinct focus on trying to be more in control of himself, you know, having self-control.
Yeah.
And that's a difference for him that is a big deal, because he's undermining relationships with his hostility. And so he really wants to be different, you know. And so I really appreciate his use of the song, so it's kind of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so should we jump into the bridge now?
Yeah, sounds good. The bridge, yeah, that's good.
Let me pull it up here. I lost it. Hold on. There we go. Here is the bridge, and then I'll go ahead and read the bridge for us, and we'll get into the outro after that.
Perfect.
Okay, here we go. Ooh, I love that with the guitar. That was cool.
Like a little riff in the background.
Huh?
A little riff in the background.
Yeah. Oh, that was cool.
That's the
I
bridge.
love when songs do that. Okay, I'll pause it here. This song is so good. I love the power behind this song, and yet it's also got this sense of being gentle in like the high parts of the song, if that makes sense. Like the background seems kind of like dreamy or floaty. I think we used that term a long time ago with like the first song that we looked at. But it's got this sense of kind of like lifting you up, I think is what I was trying to say. But at the same time, its message is like being really kind of like taken across like through both the music and the words. They're both equally trying to say the same message. That's like what I was feeling, especially there in the bridge. That was really well written musically. Let me go ahead and read that for us.
Okay.
Yes.
That sounds good.
So here's the bridge. So it reads, I know that I am far from perfect, but through you the cross says I am worth it. So take this beating in my heart and come and finish what you started. When they see me, let them see you, because I just want to be different. That's cool.
Yeah, that's
like
really
that.
cool.
Yeah. I like
One
how
of the
it's like a
things that
variation.
I've noticed, you know, when we've gone through songs and we examine the bridge always has this kind of unique message built into it. It's usually like it kind of has like a call to action in it,
that's
you
true.
know, more often than not. And so that's interesting to me, kind of the function of the bridge as I've seen it through different songs and things. And this one's no exception.
Yeah, that's true.
Line 1 talks about you don't have to be perfect. And so here we are focused on, being different, but don't confuse being different with perfect. This isn't so much about perfect, is about maturity, growing in the likeness of Jesus, so that's the idea behind different. So not perfect, but growing.
Yeah.
And the next line, emphasis on worth, right?
Yeah.
And so you don't have to be perfect to have worth, which is good news. Actually, worth comes from Jesus. I mean, he loves us. He decides to love us. He celebrates us, and that's just the way it is. And so the worth part comes from Jesus himself. And so the bridge actually has like a little gospel message built into the theme, which I thought was like really powerful.
That is really powerful. Yeah. I love that. I love how it also feels like he is kind of laying it all out here in the bridge. I think basically, like you were saying, it's kind of acknowledging his imperfections, and he's taking that and placing his trust in God's love and his grace to continue kind of transforming him. Even though he's not there yet, he understands that, and he's like, I desire to be perfect. So let me place that trust in you, because I know the only way I'm going to be able to achieve that is by placing it with you.
Yeah. Right.
So,
the reliance on Jesus to move in a direction of being whole.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
It's a team. It's a teammanship.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, that is wonderful. Like a sense of community, because God, when he created us in his image, he wanted a family.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It wasn't like he just wanted a bunch of robots running around doing his bidding and whatever.
Yes, exactly.
So, yeah. All right, so then I think the chorus, does the chorus repeat one more time? And then it goes into the outro. We'll go ahead and play it.
Okay.
Hopefully, I think it's 37 seconds, so it's probably fine.
Okay.
Yeah. They probably won't be mad. That was cool. I like that. I forgot he did that. I love it when they do that with music. Everything kind of cuts out. I feel like that makes the song even more powerful if it wasn't already powerful like before. Like just that effect in music can really drive home a point.
Yes.
And I also love, I didn't notice this before, but I think in every chorus he actually does a little bit of a different riff on the word me. I think I remember that, and that was just kind of cool. I don't like a musical little like touch there that it's keeping the audience's attention and like continuing the song forward, but adding like a little bit of like just
a nuance.
Extra. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah. Yes, and that was the last little phrase is in me, which is what I think the ultimate summary of the outro is, a relationship with Jesus, in me. Yeah. It's a short little outro, but it's powerful.
Sure. I can just read it real fast.
Sure.
So it says, the outro just says, I just want to be different, so could you be different in me?
There it is.
I love how he says, I just want to be really That really sounds like a plea to God.
Yes.
Like, I just want to do this for you.
Yes,
That's really cool.
That's how I hear it too, with that emphasis. Sometimes the word just can be like a word of minimization. In this case, in the context, I think it's going the other way. It really means to maximize, the whole me wants to be different. That's how I hear it too.
It's deep rooted. It's like a deep longing for personal transformation and growth. It's kind of like inviting God to shape him according to his will.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's right.
Yeah, truly like a moment of surrender and trust in God's plan.
It's a beautiful song.
It is a beautiful song. So yeah, that was kind of our overall kind of look at the song. And now what we're going to do, the fun part of the podcast, is we go through now. Well, not we, mostly you.
Yeah, it's a we.
It's a we, okay. We go through and we kind of answer the question of what do we now do with this song. We know that it can kind of, it explores like this purpose of thinking about your emotions while listening and stuff. But now that we know that, what can we do with it? So I think, hold on. First, before we do that, just to kind of recap.
Okay.
For somebody listening to the song who would you recommend this song
that's good.
for?
That's
if they're
a good
going
question.
through a certain thing, who would that be and what would it be for?
Yeah, if you're frustrated with yourself, like if you have habits and patterns that keep coming up in your life and it's creating problems, probably in, some kind of consternation inside yourself or a frustration in relationships, but it's very habitual, it's problematic, that person, living out that story, which is, okay, frankly, all of us at one time or another, this song has a message that means to speak to you.
That's good.
So that's the audience.
Okay, so that was the audience. So now, how can the audience now use that information? How can they use this song to benefit themselves?
Yeah, and I have a little worksheet, that you and I have put together. And so just for anyone that may be interested in actually having a worksheet, to make it easy, if you send us an email, I'd be glad to send it back to you as an attachment. Free of charge, just as a blessing to you. And it's info@hollydalemusic.com. That would be the email address, and I'd be all about just sending it over to you in a PDF form. And that's, I'm going to answer that question by just basically describing the context of this kind of worksheet. So the question again, I actually just one more time, music therapy. It is the purpose is using music to help serve as a tool, an instrument to maybe affect change inside your life, inside your heart. Music is super powerful because it has both music and lyrics, and the music is a mood, and the lyrics has usually at least the ones we look at, a very productive message that we need to kind of bring into our heart. So that's kind of what music therapy is in a nutshell. And different. So the first thing you would do if you were going to actually ask this song in your story to help you, obviously the first thing is listen to it. And probably listen to it like several times, like read the lyrics, and then take a survey of yourself, what are you feeling? What are you thinking? Just kind of let those emotions sort of come up out of you without too much restraint. Probably would even be good to jot it down so you don't kind of like lose it, So that's step one, kind of listen to the song. Step two, a goal.
Right.
What do you want different in your life? Like, ask yourself that question. And, in some kind of formal way, write the goal or goals down. This is what I want to be different.
That's good.
Yep, that would be two. And the third, just kind of trying to be concrete here. And the third would be what you want to do is listen to the song. I'm just going to say like every day for, let's just go with, 3 or 4 weeks. Listen to the song and read that list of goals that you produced. Just kind of bring together on a regular basis the goals and the song. The song in this case serves as inspiration, kind of energy. It's again a mantra, a prayer is probably a better word.
Right.
It's a prayer that you're using as you pair it with the just kind of the vision of these goals. Okay, so that's 3.
Right.
4, what you're going to want to do with your goals is really try and activate them. Let's just take, for example, maybe you want to be more kind to folks that you interact with, say in the stores or something, but you're not kind. Actually, let's just say you're frustrated and impatient.
Gotcha.
And so you're kind of rude, right? And
like
you're alienating. Okay, a Karen. right, exactly. You're alienating yourself from humanity because you're in a hurry, and you recognize that is not cool. And so, kind is the idea. You want to be more gentle, more kind. That would be the goal.
Okay.
Well, you want to go ahead and start trying to do that. Think about this song. Think about your goal. Think about the transformation. And let's just say you drop the ball. You don't do that. I hate to say that.
You become a Karen.
Yeah, right. Let's say you already are a Karen.
Right.
Then you want to meditate on this song and see yourself maybe in retrospect being the kind person that you mean to be. So what we're trying to do is create a habit, right? Like retrain yourself into this headspace that you want to be. Again, using the song as inspiration to kind of push you forward through up to the accomplishment of it. Okay, that's 4. 5, I think not everybody has interest in this, but you could write like maybe like a reaction to the song. Okay, so let's say you're a parent and again, you're rushed, you're frustrated, and you want to be more kind, a reaction, like in a poem or a song, how will it affect your family, your kids, when you actually accomplish this? So you could put in your own words what happens post-accomplishment. That could be a reaction to the song, now I'm different, and this is the change that manifested out of that difference. If Jesus were in my shoes and this is how he's doing it, this is how my family would look. That would be the reaction.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, good. I mean, that's kind of the worksheet that we have put together, and if it would be useful, and you'd like to have that in your hand, email us, info@hollydalemusic.com, and I'd be glad to provide it for you.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so that was kind of our overlook, our view at the song. Let me get the name because I forgot. Different by Micah Tyler. So yeah, and that came out in 2016. That has been a hot minute, and I remember that being on the radio all the time. I think they do still play it.
I hear it. Yeah.
So I mean, it's a good song. Makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was kind of our overall analysis of the song. And yeah, soon we'll probably be putting together like something of like a Patreon or something, so that way we can go through and kind of be able to go and see kind of like maybe questions that y'all might not be comfortable kind of like posting in chat, and we'll kind of address that overall theme kind of when we're doing a live stream rather than like answering it directly. But yeah, because I'm sure you guys have like questions on some of the stuff that we've said in the song, like, oh hey, that really applies to me, but I would love to know a little bit more about this, that, or the other thing you said, because I feel like that would help me as well. So we want to give that option to you guys, so we'll be setting up something like that super soon. And we also have 2 playlists that we're going to be putting together and releasing super soon that have all the songs that we've been looking at in these streams. And I think this one we're probably going to put on would it be Recovery or Discovery?
Probably Recovery.
Recovery?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we probably need to maybe even bring some more songs in on the Discovery. We've only done a few.
We got
of
like
those.
2.
Yeah.
Two on the Discovery. But yeah, we'll put those together for you guys. So if you wanted to, you can go through and listen to those songs and be able to use, like we said, the kind of like the bullet points that we could give y'all through like the email and everything. So you could look at it yourselves and kind of go through anything that's going on in your story and use the song to be able to help you with that. So yeah, that was our analysis for today. We hope you guys enjoyed today's podcast, and we will be doing another one of these super soon, and it will be episode 8, and it might be a Toby Mac song. I'm kind of feeling like we should do a Toby Mac song.
I think so too.
Have we done a Toby Mac song?
No, I don't think so. That's
have.
embarrassing.
That is embarrassing. You're right. That is embarrassing. We should do a Toby Mac song.
Dude's
like
awesome.
I grew up listening to his music,
he's
and
amazing.
to be honest, I'm gonna like be 100% frank here. Part of his like music style was something I wanted to emulate in my own music, and it didn't really come across now that I do kind of more classical stuff. But when I was younger, that is what I wanted to do, like for sure. I thought he was so cool.
He's still cool.
He is cool. Yes, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to imply he wasn't, but I was just saying when I was young, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to be just like him. Anyway, but yeah, so that was kind of our analysis today. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll be seeing you again super soon.
We look forward to it.
All right, bye guys.
Bye.
I don't want to hear anymore. Teach me to listen. I don't want to see anymore. Give me a vision that you could move this heart to be